Well, I am so excited to be here with Susan Henricks. She is the president and CEO of ICANN. Susan, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, Andy, thank you so much for inviting me. It's great to see you virtually, but I know I'll be seeing you in person soon.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about just ICANN. What is ICANN for people that may or may not know?
Sure. So ICANN, it actually stands for the Institute for Career Advancement Needs. This is ICANN's 40th anniversary this year.
Oh, are you serious?
I
Oh
am
my
serious.
goodness. Okay.
And it'll be our 28th conference.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was founded by a group of women 40 years ago to focus on leadership development for women and men. And so ICANN is all about leadership development, helping people grow as leaders, become more authentic leaders in whatever they do.
Yeah, I mean, I've been involved in several of the programs over the years because there's so many things that there's a lot of, you said, educational pieces. There's just a lot of ways for people to get involved and hosting a lot of different wonderful events. Before we get into the big event coming up in August, what are some of those events? Because I know you have like the 777.
Yes. So we do what we call the 777. So it is 7 speakers, 7 minutes each with 7 different topics. And we do it in conjunction with Dr. Todd Darnold at Creighton's Business School. And it is a wonderful event. We have everything from CEOs of the largest corporations in Omaha to people that are special volunteers within a particular organization, to people that are working on developing Omaha, to individuals who are focused on diversity, equity, inclusion. So we really try to have a very diverse set of subjects and a very diverse set of individuals.
Yeah, I always love attending those. Do you have one scheduled in the fall?
We do. It will be October 28th at Creighton University at the College of Business at the Harper Center. Yep. And we'll be sending out information about that in the near future.
Okay. Well, let's just dive into this year's conference. Like you said, it's the 28th year. Last year, like so many events, you had to pivot and you did it online.
Correct.
All virtual, but this year, can you attend, but can you also do it online? Is there both ways?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We're doing, all these new words that we've focused on in the last year, right? Pivot, hybrid, etc. So it's a hybrid conference.
Yeah.
We will be hosting an in-person group of people at the CHI Health Center. Rather than having 10 people at a table, we're going to have 5 people at a table. Okay. And we will have, the tables appropriately distanced.
Sure.
And then people can also attend virtually. So right now we have a lot of people signed up for in-person and a lot of people signed up for virtual.
Yeah, I almost see that potentially, especially with some of these bigger conferences, that may be the way that you just move forward and do it, because you can bring in a lot more people if they can't actually get there physically.
Yes. You know what, we're finding that companies that are headquartered in, Omaha or Lincoln or, our region,
sure,
they're sending more people virtually this year.
Yeah.
Rather than thinking, oh gosh, we need to bring everybody into Omaha to the convention center.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. It's kind of opened up a whole new area of people to attend.
Right. Okay. What is the theme for this year's conference?
The theme is awesome, like it is, like we think it is every year, right? So this year it is insight, and then it's step up, stand out, stand together. And the whole theme is about, how do I step up in my organization? How do I help myself to stand out in my organization, to either take on more responsibility or move up in my organization, or whatever my goal might be.
Sure.
And then the stand together piece, we felt like it was really important this year to have an element of community.
Mhm.
And what do you do to stand together in our community? Whether it's volunteer work, whether it's participating on a board of a nonprofit organization, whether it's mentoring a young person, whatever that is, what we find is that women in business are more successful even after they volunteer and after they participate in community events.
Yeah. So the event is on the 11th of August.
August 11th, correct?
And so
And-
kind of walk us through just kind of what the day looks like.
Sure. So we have a wonderful host of speakers. And I would just like to point out that the individuals who will be watching virtually and then the people watching in person, they will be seeing the exact same speakers, content, slides, everything. So there will be a number of just fantastic speakers. Many will be talking about the importance for women in business to have a mentor or a sponsor.
Yeah.
And that mentor or sponsor can be another woman, of course, but it can also be, and many times has to be, a man. So we have two speakers. They're two gentlemen that have written a book called The Good Guys. And the book is all about the importance of men supporting women and mentoring and sponsoring women in business. And so they're going to be, I'm really looking forward to them. We started a pre-event to the conference actually yesterday. And it is two of who we think are the, if you will, the good guys in Omaha. Tim Burke, the just newly retired CEO of PPD, and Steve Grantfield, who's the CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield Nebraska. Both of them have very diverse executive teams and businesses, and both have really focused on not just women, but people of color, LGBTQ, et cetera, in their leadership teams. So it's a discussion with the two of them about their beliefs on why it's so important to have a diverse leadership team.
Absolutely. I know during the conference you have different breakout sessions, correct?
This year we've decided not to do breakout sessions.
Okay.
Actually, because of COVID, we thought, let's have everybody remain in kind of one space and not moving about with a thousand other people. And so what we're doing instead is we're having some what we're calling workshops, and they'll be for everyone, and they'll be on various subjects like, how do you get involved in nonprofit organizations? How do you ask someone to be your mentor or sponsor? And so it'll be a little bit different take on the breakout sessions.
Sure.
But we're just following an abundance of caution now that we are post-COVID. And so I suspect next year we will go back to, having breakout. The other element I'd like to just mention is I interviewed Chanda Chacon, who is the new CEO of Children's Hospital and Medical System. And she is fabulous. And so I would encourage people to watch that video.
So because I'm looking at you here, and I've got my other computer over here looking at your website, the ICANN Leadership Conference. Before I go to there, where can we find that video? How do we find that video?
So in order to watch that particular video of Chanda, as well as the one with Tim Burke and Steve Grantfield, you have to be registered for the conference, and then you'll be sent a link to be able to watch those videos. And then for the actual day of the conference, we will have many of the speakers live on stage. We will have a couple speakers live, but from other locations.
Sure.
So it's going to be really interesting to have these people from around the world speaking.
Yeah, yes. All right, so the ICANN conference website, icanconference.com. Again, you've got the agenda, you've got the speakers, there's event information, there's so much great information on the website. So let's talk a little bit about ticket sales. The great thing about a hybrid is you can't sell out.
Correct. Correct. We can't sell out.
Yeah.
Yes. And so ticket sales are going well. We knew that we would not probably reach the 3,200 that we had in 2019, but ticket sales are going very, very well. And so we'll probably have about 1,000 plus people in person.
Sure.
And about that same number in virtual.
So your ticket price, and how much are tickets for, because it's for the entire day.
Correct.
And then all these other videos you're getting. So
right. Yeah. All the ticket pricing is on our website. Right. And it depends on if you're a small business, a student, et cetera. So again, I would just ask people to go to icanconference.com, as you said.
Absolutely. And again, there's so much information, and then there's also a little bit of background. I'm excited for this conference, and I'm excited. I love the theme. I think it's great, and we're ready for it. And like you said, this, even though it's an ICANN Women's Leadership Conference, do men attend?
Men do attend. We usually have about 100 men.
Okay.
And what they walk away saying is, wow, I learned so much. And they walk away saying, gee, it isn't about men bashing. It's about helping women to be better leaders in their organizations. Yeah. And so men are always super impressed with the content.
Yeah. Well, let me see. Is there anything else? Anything else that we need? I'm kind of looking at my notes here. We've covered a lot, and we're almost out of time. So, any kind of final words that you'd like to?
Sure. I would just like to mention that ICANN offers a number of open enrollment programs, meaning anyone can enroll, women or men. And we have a program called Defining Leadership. And then we have a newer program that's called Examining Unconscious Bias. And the reaction to the new program on unconscious bias has been fantastic. And it's all about each individual learning, what are my biases? Even though I might think I have no biases. Right. We all have biases of some sort. And so we do have open enrollment programs, and then we do a lot of custom programs for pretty much the larger organizations in Omaha and Lincoln. Yeah. And all of that custom work is set up to meet their specific objective. So just wanted to mention that we do absolutely all this leadership development work in addition to the conference and the 777. Yeah. And so where can people go to find that information out? icanglobal.net. Yeah. Okay. Well, I encourage people to go there as well. I've gone through some of the trainings that you had years ago, and it was amazing. And you're always developing new things, engaging people in new ways, which is what I love about your organization and just what it does for the community. So I just want to personally say thank you. Well, thank you, Andy, and thank you for inviting me to talk with you today. You're welcome. And again, everybody, the conference site is icanconference.com, or go to icanglobal.net to learn more about ICANN. So thanks so much, Susan, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you. I look forward to it.